Feels like love, Cupid made a shot.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe. So today we are going to get into some charm organization. Now I'm just going to reorganize my charms. I actually really enjoy the system that I have. As we grow, your system can kind of get a little bit messed up. So what I want to do is just reorganize my charms. But I thought as I would do this, I would take you along with me, and maybe I could give some extra ideas for your studio, for maybe yourself and helping you organize your charms. So I like to put all my charms in 10-gram pots. I personally prefer that. Now these containers that I actually use as a storage system for all of my charms, I get them off of Michaels. I know in the States you can also get them from Hobby Lobby. Now in Michaels, I'm not going to lie to you, they are a little pricey at about $16 for the container plus the 24 pots you get in the container. Now majority of my 10-gram pots I do purchase off of Amazon. I just buy like 50 at a time, and I just kind of integrate them in and out of these little containers. So these big containers, like I said, I actually use them for my organization system. So all my charms are put into 10-gram pots. That means everything: bows, flowers, caviar beads. There is just literally everything I pretty much put into 10-gram pots, and besides fine glitter goes into smaller pots. But so 10-gram pots are my go-to. That's why I personally prefer them, and I get them off of Amazon because you can just use them for so many things. So all my charms, what I like to do is, depending on how many charms you have, my collection is quite large now, so I can have specific categories for certain things. So for these containers, they hold 24 pots. So if I'm going to dedicate a whole container to a specific thing, let's say flowers, well, I need at least 15 pots of flowers to dedicate that to be its own thing. So if you don't have that amount yet, I would recommend using these containers for multiple things. So I have some for seasonal, so I have some for Valentine's Day and Halloween. I will mix them in the same big clear container with my 10-gram pots, say Valentine's Day on one side and Halloween on the other side. So you can really use the containers for more than just one thing as well, until you grow to have a whole container full of all just Christmas stuff or all just Valentine's Day stuff. So again, I separate my stuff by shape. So all these are different shapes. I would mark that container down as different shapes. I also, again, once you get big enough, if you have all rose gold something, if you have all gold something, all silver, I categorize my things like that. So if you have a charm that literally is all silver, there is no gold mixed into it, that would be classified as a silver. So I would put that in silver. Now, you can go into organizing things a little bit more in depth. I have all my clusters in one area. I have all my flowers in one area. You could put your leaves and greenery with your flowers, and that could be like a spring vibe. So your florals, your greenery, that could be going in under something as well. I also, again, when you have your seasonal, I like to mix my seasonal. I don't have a lot of Halloween and or Christmas, so I could mix those two together, or Halloween and Valentine's Day. Wherever you don't have a lot, it's actually okay to mix them into these containers. Now also I like about the 10-gram pots is, say that you don't want to go this container route, meaning the big clear acrylic container that you see everything in. Say you just don't want to go down that Michael's Way or Hobby Lobby, maybe you just can't find them. But you can get a hold of the 10-gram pots. I still recommend using the 10-gram pots. You could use them in so many different ways. If you notice that little white basket up there, I get them from IKEA. You could get probably something similar from a dollar store. You could line your 10-gram pots in that, and that could be labeled as your flower or your container. Do you know what I mean? So the 10-gram pots I really recommend for a lot of nail art. Oh my god, guys, they just fit perfect for so much stuff. And it's a consistent size, so it's easier to organize. So say if you have a dump system and all your stuff is in bins, so you have all your category as spring all in a bin. Well, you could also have all these 10-gram pots again in a little container, maybe not the clear one, but you could use something like the white one, or a little basket, or there's tons of little different things that you could use to categorize them by putting all your 10-gram pots in one specific area. So again, this is why I enjoy the 10-gram pot. I think it is a nail artist's best friend. In all truth, it is the perfect size pot. And again, you can get them off Amazon. So Amazon is a worldwide thing, and I think it's easier for all of us. So I do recommend that if you can swing it. They're not too bad. I think on my end I get about 50 for about $30 on Amazon, and they do last quite a bit. Again, I use these for glitter. I use these for all my charms. Really almost anything, guys. They fit in here amazingly. But like I was saying, so I personally like these clear containers, and I will label my clear containers. But again, if you don't have the clear container way, you could use different systems that these pots could fit into that I think would work really well, and why I prefer a 10-gram pot over, say, a longer storage organizing system. You'll see a little bit later I do have some of them, though I don't know what they're called, the containers with all the separated parts inside of them, but it just has one lid, so if it falls, well, she's fallen everything. I do have a couple of charms and organized stuff that I do put in those style of containers, but that style of container is, in all honesty, I only really put my very, very large, like big body charms in there. Stuff that's a little too big for the 10-gram pot, or if I keep a specific container, say if I have all of my shapes in that container, then I would use that as a specific type of container with the grids and open. I do apologize. I think closer to the end I'll show you this style of container I'm talking about. But the reason I actually don't like to use those containers for all of my charms is, again, it's hard to reorganize those things. For you to reorganize them, you have to take everything out, get your little spoon, keep scooping it, and if it falls, by golly, they're falling everywhere. That's why I kind of recommend put bigger stuff in them. They're good for kawaiis, bigger charms that if it falls, it's very easy to pick them up. These little guys, again, I can reorganize this. I've reorganized this system so many times, but the only thing I'm moving is the little pot into different areas. That's why I feel like, again, for somebody who likes to reorganize like myself, this 10-gram pot I can maneuver in so many different ways. I also have 10-gram pots for glitter. Now, you could use the same system I have for my glitter in a drawer. You would line it up. You could use that for your charms as well, and it'd be labeled down the side of your drawer. Flowers, right? Next row down, that could be Halloween, and you could categorize it like that in a drawer system with the pots. Again, there's a lot of clear acrylic drawers that we get. I get a lot of mine from Dollar Tree, the little ones. These fit in there as well. So I just find that the 10-gram pot will get you kind of what you need. I know, am I really selling that 10-gram pot? That's bad if I am, but it just works. I've been doing nails for a little over 2 years, and I do have a small organizing obsession, so it just works for me, and I feel like, hey, if it ain't broke, I ain't trying to fix it. So I'm going to continue to use my 10-gram pots. Now, again, why I recommend a 10-gram pot over a 5-gram pot is that the size. Charms are still going to be, like, they're small, but they can be a little bulky, so your 10-gram pot will fit majority of them, and that's just how I do and organize mine. In the grid container, here we are. So this is the container I was talking about. These containers, I do have a few of them. I put, again, a lot of my really, really big charms. These are not really big charms, but I do get quite a bit in the bags of these charms, so I don't mind putting them in this style of container. Again, you're kind of a little cautious of where you put them, because if you kind of mess up, you gotta like scoop them out, and it's just a little bit more tedious of a job, which is not my favorite thing, to be honest. So, but I love the way it looks. I'm gonna love the way that it'll look all together when it's all said and done. But God forbid this ever to fall in the ground, I would just leave it mixed. In all truth, it would take me forever to kind of reorganize it, and I just don't think I would want to do that. So that is the luxury of the 10-gram pot. They're individual. If they fall, they just fall. But thank you guys so much. And this is how I organize all of my charms. I just put them in drawers. Now that they're labeled, I can go through and be like, oh, what am I looking for? Oh, I want flowers. Perfect. Oh, I know I want all silver. Go to the all silver section. Oh, I want clusters. Perfect. How about pointed back? I can just grab them. They're right there. Christmas clusters, they're all there. So that's why I love organizing it like this into their containers, because I can just reach for it. It's just a lot easier in my books. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, is it spring cleaning for you guys? It's time to reorganize those charms. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.